The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, Gayatri. Are you able to hear me? You were able to solve the yesterday's question on functions. Raise your hands if you were able to solve. Today we will be starting with loops and iterations. So we have covered simple statement, we have covered conditional statements, and we have covered how to create functions. So we'll see if we have a condition where we need an iteration or something until the condition is true. I want the same steps to be followed. Then we use loops for that. So whenever we have repeated steps, we will not write it again and again. We will create loop until the condition is true and then work on it. So this is one example. Let's say my initial value of n is equals to 5. Then I am increasing, I am checking whether n is greater than 0. If it is true, then I want some steps to be followed. If it is false, I want it to get out of statements. So if it is true, I'm decreasing n value of n by 1 and then checking again and again until it is greater than 0. These statements will get printed. Once it is less than or equals to 0, it will come out of this block and it will go to this print statement. So how will you write it? You will write like this: n equals to 5. Then there are loops in Python. There's while loop and there's for loop. So we'll talk about when you will use while loop and when you will use for loop. So you have for and you have while. So whenever you have condition like until it is true, let's do this, then you will use while loop where it is only dependent on condition. Okay. So like this, it is only dependent on condition. So I'm using while loop. So how will I use my loops? So I'll open a new file. I'll show you. Let's say I'm writing n equals to 7 while then I will write my condition. Let's say n is greater than 2. Colon is you need to write. Then you will write what you want to do. Print n, then n equals to n minus 1. And then you come out of this loop and then you write print last outside loop. So what I am writing here is I am creating a while loop. I'm printing inside the loop and I'm printing outside the loop. So let me write print inside the loop. I will run it. So I got inside the loop 7, inside the loop 6, inside the loop 5, inside the loop 4, inside the loop 3, and then I came outside the loop and value is 2. What I can do is, let me change the value of n equals to 1. So will it go inside while loop? It will not go inside while loop because my value of n is less than 2, or maybe I can give equals to 2. Value of n is equals to 2, which is not greater than 2. So let's see what it will print. So it will just print these two statements outside the loop. It will not print these statements. Is this clear? Raise your hands if it is clear. Okay. You can have an infinite loop. So if your condition is incorrect, your loop can become infinite. So if in case I give it here until n is less than 2. So every time my value of n will be less than 2 because it is in decreasing nature, and this type of loop will become infinite loop, and this will spoil all my memory. It will take everything from my memory. All the space will be filled. So always remember to cross check your condition once that it should not be a infinite loop. I'll not run and show you because otherwise it will take all the memory. You can try in your laptops, or maybe I'll show you. It will happen now. Okay. So it's becoming infinite loop. So if I want to stop, I need to stop with interrupt execution so that it will not go infinite times. So this loop will never end. You need to check your condition before actually running your loops. Another infinite loop example. Is this infinite loop? No, this is not infinite loop because it is checking whether n is greater than 0. So I am giving value of n is equals to 0. Then I am checking n is greater than 0. So it will just print the outside loop. It will not go inside the loop. So you need to check these values as well, whether do you want to go inside the loop or not. In this situation, it will never go inside the loop. If you want to break somewhere in your loop, maybe you are checking a condition and I want as soon as I get this n is equals to 3. Okay. I want it to come out of loop immediately. So what will happen? It will first print inside the loop, then it will check this condition n is equals to 3. Yes, it is equals to 3. Then it will come outside of your loop. As soon as it gets the break statement, it will come outside this loop block and it will come to the next statement that is there. Let's execute this and see. So you got inside the loop 8, inside the loop 7, 6, 5, 4. As soon as you got 3, it is outside. You just got printed inside the loop and then it came outside. So maybe I can give one print statement. So that you'll understand it better. So if you see, it is printing inside the loop 8, inside the loop 7, inside the loop 6, inside the loop 5, inside the loop 4, inside the loop, then inside the if block, and it came out as soon as it encountered the break statement, and then it is printing outside the loop. Is this clear? Raise your hand if it is clear. Yeah, okay. So your break statement will always take you outside the complete loop like this. Now you want to skip one iteration. So what do I want is that if it encounters 4, I don't want to print that 4. I want to skip the iteration. So what I will do is I will write continue. So what this continue will do, it will escape the current iteration. So when I say current iteration, whenever it will encounter the value of n equals to 4, it will not print anything. It will not go into looping statement. That means these two statements. Okay. It will go back to, from here, it will go back to this while statement as soon as it encounters continue. You can see the diagram here. As soon as it encounters continue, it will go back to your while statement, skipping all the lines after this statement. Oops. So it's an infinite loop. I'm unable to interrupt as well. It's not interrupting. Okay, somewhere I did a mistake. It's becoming infinite loop. Okay. It is becoming infinite loop because of my if statement. Because my condition to decrease the value is afterwards, is in the end. If it is in the end, it will always, the value will always be n equals to 4. It will not get changed. It will skip from here, it will go here, then come back, then value of 4 is still the same, then it will go back to while. So what I can do is I can write this statement inside my if block, and then I can write one here. So what I got is inside the loop 8, inside the loop 7, inside the loop 6, inside the loop 5, inside the loop, skipping the iteration where value of n is 4, then inside the loop 3, and then it came out of the loop because I'm checking the condition for n is greater than 2. So it came outside with outside loop print L and printing the value of n. Is this clear? Vasant? Okay. So these type of loops where you check with a condition are called as indefinite loops. So while loops are called indefinite loops because they keep going until a logical condition becomes false. So this is your logical condition. If it results in true, it will continue doing the task whatever is mentioned inside its block. So loops we have seen so far are pretty easy to examine, see if they terminate or if they will be infinite loops. You can easily judge whether it will be infinite loop or whether it will be a definite loop. So infinite loop, if I reverse the condition, it will become infinite loop. Sometimes it is harder to be sure if a loop will terminate or not. Like we did this mistake, we forgot to write this statement and it became infinite loop. So sometimes it becomes really difficult to get to know whether it is infinite loop or whether it is a definite loop. So what is a definite loop? So your definite loop may go over a list of items or a line in a file, or it will read something that is already there. Okay. So we can write a loop to run the loop once for each of the item in a set. So these loops are called definite loops. So for an example, you have these numbers, let's say. Okay, before this, let me tell you this. So there's this range function in Python where you provide the ending point. So it will give you the range. So from where it is starting from 0 and it will go until 5. 5 is not included. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also mention the step. Step means range 0, 5, let's say 2. So that means it will only print 0, then 2, then 4. Gayatri, I will repeat 1 minute. Let's just understand this. So remember this function range. So let's say I want to iterate over integers whose values are between the range of 50. So what I can do is I can run a loop for range 50. So by default it will start from 0, it will go until 49 and it will increase by step 1. So I'll tell you how to print the range. Just understand this range function as of now. So Gayatri wants to know indefinite loops once again. So indefinite loops are the loops where your value is confirmed. They are not infinite where you are getting output. So your indefinite loops, until the condition becomes false, it will continue printing. So until this logical condition becomes false, it will continue printing the statements, whatever is there inside this block. Okay. As soon as condition is false, it will come out of this block and go to the statements which are there after the looping block. So loops that we have studied till now were easy to find out that whether my loop is definite or it is infinite. Infinite means it is not ending. Definite means it is getting ended. The condition is getting false. So if I change it here, let's say this, will this loop never end? Will this loop ends? No, it will never end because this loop, the condition is always true. So that means we can easily find out whether it is infinite or whether it is definite. But in some conditions, it is not possible or it is not easy to find out whether loop is infinite or definite loop. Let's say if I remove it from here, so it is actually becoming infinite loop. But initially I was not knowing that it may become infinite loop. Every time it will compare, control will go from continue to here as soon as it encounters 4. But the value of n is still 4, it is not decreasing. If it is not decreasing, it is becoming infinite loop because of this statement. Is this clear now, Gayatri? Okay. So your for loop is little different in case of Python. So you use a for each or for n loop. So how do you use it? You write the keyword for, then you write it works as an iterator. What does the iterator do? It increases the value by 1 and reads every line or every character or everything that you provide. So you write any variable name, okay. Then you write the keyword in, and then you write what you want to read. Let's say I want to read from a range of 5. Then what? You write colon, then you press enter, then you write your statements. What do you want to do now? Let's say I want to print hello world. If I want to print this, it will print 5 times. So I'll show you this. So it has printed 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Maybe I can show you the more about ranges. So let's print I. Let's see what it prints. So I, what it will do from a range, it will read from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. So your range starts from 0 and it will go until 4, and by default it will increase by 1. So I will show you once again. I want it to start from 1, goes until 5 and increase by 0.5. So what is the error? Error that you cannot increase by 0.5. So your float value cannot be converted into integer type. So you only need integer type of value here. Your incremental is always a integer type. So it started with 1, increased with 2. So 1 and 3, the next value was 5. So it will come out of it. Is this clear how I'm using range? Range is very important in Python. You will use it at so many places. You understood what is iterator? So it is iterating the values over whatever you are mentioning here. It can be a list, it can be a data type, it can be a range, it can be a external file that you want to read. And then you can write whatever you want to do it here. Let's say you want to take input 5 times. So if you want to take input, let's say 5, 10 times, how will you take it? You can take like this. You see the values now. 1, I'm entering the value 3, 4, I'm entering the value 5, 6. So these are the values that I have entered. No, it is not possible to do a decremental. It is only possible to do incremental iteratives. Decremental iterative is not possible. So you need to write a separate code if you want a decremental range. So you got syntax error that you cannot have it in negative. So you got this invalid syntax error if you try to do it in reverse order. So reverse order is not possible. You need to write a separate code. So like this is a list of integer type of data and you want to iterate over it. You want to read one by one all the values. Yeah, I forgot to write in, my mistake. For I in range 5 comma 1 comma minus 1. Yeah, incremental you need to mention like this then if you want in decremental order. Thank you Vasan for this correction. Gayatri, decremental you can do in this way. So you can mention from where you want to start until where you want to go and what is your decremental count that you want to do. So let's say for I in, I have this range 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, something like that. I want to print I into 2. So what I am doing, I am reading each value and then multiplying by 2 and printing that. So I got 6, 8, 10, 12, 4. You can read even characters. Let's say so you can read each character as well. Or maybe try let's try this whether it is possible or not. So you can even read each character from a string. So it's a string and I want to read each character separately, so I can read like this. Is it clear? Okay, bas another question. So if you want to read complete strings as well, you can do that. So let's say for word, then C, directory, I'm giving some random names. So you got it. You can read each word as well. Yes, index for first value is always 0. It always starts from 0 and goes until n minus 1. Or I can do something like this. Then I can write for word and words print word. So I will read word. What if I want to read each character from here? Can I do that? Yes, I can do that. I need to use two loops. So I want to read G separately, H separately, Y separately, H separately, J separately, U separately. So what I will do is I will write for word in words. So here, no, see carefully. I'm gonna use nested loops. So I got each character separately from the words. Is this example clear? Gayatri? So how does n works? So this is your iterative variable, and its search, first it will go to 5, then it will go to 4, then it will go to 3, then it will go to 2, then it will go to 1. You can see here, this is how it works. So one by one it will read the value and perform the task. So what do we do in loops? So even though these examples are simple, the patterns to apply all kinds of loops. So you can apply in different loops. You can make your loops smarter, or you can make your loops even complex. So you can perform a lot of activities with the help of loops. So how can you make your loops smarter? So you can set some variable to some initial value. Like I did. I have assigned words. Okay. And then I'm reading here with the help of word. Look for something or do something to each entirely separate and updating a variable. Look at the variables. So for an example, they are doing something like this. So printing before, and then after the loop they are printing after. So you can find out the largest number through loops. So how? This is the list of your numbers. So largest so far initially, maybe you can assign it that -1 is the largest one. Then you can compare with the next coming variable, whether it is largest or not. Let's say I'm assigning my list of numbers, this, or maybe I'll give the name L of num equals to okay. Then what I'm doing is I'm making a variable temporary equals to -1, let's say. Then I will check for I n L of num if temp is greater than I. Then what do? You transfer temp equals to I. Okay, before this, we'll be studying data types so that tomorrow, so that I can explain you in much better way. Just understand this, that you can do this by comparing like this. So you can compare this variable with each of the value, that if this is greater than this, so what will happen? 1 will become the maximum, and then 1 will be compared with 3, so 3 will become the maximum. Then 3 will compare with 5, 5 will become the maximum. Then 5 will compare with 11, 11 will become the maximum. 11 will get compared with 17, then 17 will become the maximum. 17 will get compared with 86, 86 will become the maximum. If you want, you can print this statement. Why? Okay, I'm printing temp now. So let's see what is the value of temp. Still -1. Temp is greater than I. I got it. What is the issue? It's not going inside this loop. That's why. I have to use the condition in reverse order. I used it in another order. Sorry. Because we are finding the maximum number. So value of temp is 86 now, which is the maximum one. Or I can change L of num equals to 34. Okay, now my L of none 89 is coming in between. Let's say whether this code works in the same or not. So what should be my maximum value? 89. 89 is the right answer. So you can find the maximum value with the help of for, with the help of iterator. Is this clear? Vasant? Okay. You can compare with each. Like this we were comparing. And then we were getting the largest value. You can have continue in this loop as well with the if statement if you want to continue with something. You can sum the values. You can find the average in a loop. So how I am finding average? So what I'm doing is initially I'm making my count equals to 0. Then what I'm doing is I'm using this for loop. Let's say I want to find out average of L of num. Then what I will do is I will increase count equals to count plus 1. Okay. Each value I'm getting, I'll use sum equals to, so I have to define sum as well. So initially I'm defining sum equals to 0. Symmetry for I in L of num count equals to count plus 1, sum equals to sum plus I. Okay. Then what I will do is I will take a variable average equals to sum divided by count. So my average will become 15.779. So maybe we can calculate with the help of calculator what is average it's becoming. So we have 34 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 89 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2 equals 142. And how many values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Divide by 9 equals to 15.77778 or 9. So we are getting the right output. So we can use it as average as well. Any doubt in how I have used it to get average? Okay. You can filter the value as well. You can perform various tasks with the help of all these things. You can search as well. So I want you to practice to search a number through for loop. So write down this question, the same list that I have shown here, this list only. Search whether it have 89 or not. If it have 89, print search successful. Okay. Practice this question and share with me how you have done it. You can find the smallest number as well. And there is this is operator. So Python has is operator that can be used in logical expression. So this means it is same as this one. So similar to equals to equals to, but that is more strong. So I can write A is A. So I will get output. A is not defined. Equals to 10. B equals 5. A is B. So my output is false. If I try A is A, my output is true. So if I define B equals to 10, I can write A is B, yes. So the way we were using this, similar way we can use is, and there is not. So A is not B. My answer is false. Why? Not A. Okay, both are same, that's why. B equals to 1. Then A is not B. So my answer is true. So same way you use equal equals to and not equals to, you can use is and is not. Is this clear? Okay. Okay. So this is all from my side for today. So today we have covered while loops, infinite loops, how to use break, how to use continue, then how to use for loops, iteration, variables, and largest number, average, and we have seen how to use is and is not. So there's a question for you for today. Okay, I have already given you the question to find out. Okay, so one question is to find out smallest value from the list, and another is to search a value. Is that okay? Okay. So write down the code and you can share the screenshots with me so that I can check whether it is correct or not. Do you have any doubt in today's session? Okay. Thank you so much. Practice these things, and then if you have any doubt, you can ask me anytime. Thank you.